What is this big sunflower and why does it want to beat you up so bad? How you guys and girls doing today? Tim918 here, and in this video we are talking about the Scadutree avatar. Before we get into it, I want to say thank you for watching, and if you enjoy, please consider hitting that like and sub button. Also, obvious in-game and boss spoiler warnings ahead. The remembrance of the shadow sunflower tells us most of the information we need to know. It says that the Scadutree is the shadow of the Erdtree, born of dark notions that bear no sense of order, that twist and bend its stock, rendering it brittle. From this piece of info, we can assume that the Skibidi avatar is practically the dark equivalent to the Erdtree avatars in the base game. Its purpose is to protect the tree and ward off any being that tries to harm it. When the remembrance speaks of the Scadutree being born with no sense of order, it speaks of the polar opposite of it, which of course is the Erdtree and the golden order born with it. Remember, the Skibidi tree and everything that goes on in the lands of shadow is America's dirty little secret. If you want a full breakdown of that, check out this video after this one. What's even more interesting though is that we can actually get Miquella's broken rune once we defeat the Scadutree avatar. It reads, "A great rune relinquished by Miquella, broken and bereft of its bounty, it retains naught but the power to resist charms." Miquella set off for the tower enshrouded by shadow, abandoning everything, his golden flesh, his blinding strength, and even his fate, all in an effort to bury the original sin, to embrace the whole of it, and to be reborn as a new god. I've seen a couple interesting theories on this. One theory suggests that Miquella abandoned his rune here with the Skibidi avatar, believing that it would be safe, but the Scadutree avatar accidentally broke it trying to protect it. It makes sense, considering that the Scadutree avatar tries its best to be the false representation of order that it can never be. One of the incantations we can get from defeating it is called the Lands of Shadow. It says, "Incantation originating from Scadutree avatars, creates a hail of golden projectiles which are fired towards foes after a brief delay. This incantation channels the force of the Shadowtree's power, and its gold is accompanied by shadow." To me, it seems like it tries its best to be what it can never be, a bright and lovely element imbued with the blessing of order like the Erdtree and the lands between. The other theory, and the most common that I see, is that Miquella simply discarded his rune and broke it here so that nobody would obtain its power and contest him. He left it at the base of the Scadutree because he believed it would be safest there. No matter what we come up with though, it seems that the Scadutree avatar was just trying its best to protect the Scadutree and fulfill a purpose that it could never obtain. It was abandoned, now lost and confused. It lashes out at all who dare approach it, attempting to defend an order that doesn't exist. Even the weapon we get from the remembrance talks about this. The shadow sunflower blossom is the head of a monstrous shadow sunflower manifestation of the Skibidi tree. Much like the Scadutree itself in appearance, a second stalk winds tightly around the first, almost as if in a tender embrace. One last thing I want to talk about is the fact that it has 3 phases. It's not confirmed as to why it does, but I like to speculate that it's the Shadowtree's avatar's desperation, trying everything it can to stop us from hurting the Scadutree and the false order it thinks it protects. Isn't it crazy how we can be the good guy and the villain in Souls games at the same time? Damn, it is what it is though. That's it for this video though, guys. If you enjoyed this, please consider hitting that sub button down below, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Tim918 out of here. Love you guys.